Like, subscribe and press the bell icon for more videos from PHN Learn. For more videos, download our app from the Play Store.
Welcome back to the Android Studio development tutorial by PHN Technology Private Limited. In this video, we are going to learn about a control in Android, checkbox. What is the use of checkbox? For example, if you have a list of items and you have to select multiple items out of this list. Okay. Let's say you are making a restaurant billing app or something. So user can order multiple options from the menu, and all these options should be we should be able to acknowledge that yes, these out of these 3 items are selected by the user. So when you have a multiple choice, we always use checkboxes. So let's see how to start with it. I have already added a project, and in the design file, so first of all in the design file we will have to change this constraint layout to linear layout, and we will give it orientation as vertical. Okay. Next, I will delete this text view control which was already present. We will add a heading, checkbox operations. Below this I have to add my checkboxes. So let's say let's make a billing app today. Okay. So billing app, a small mini billing app for a restaurant. Okay. So restaurant billing app. Now after this, here user should be given a choice. He should be provided with the list of menus. So to provide those list of menus, first of all we will have to add a normal text view that will give the instructions like select items from the menu. After this, menu should be displayed with the boxes to select the items. So first one, we will add first checkbox, wrap content. We can mention the text to this checkbox. Okay, so let's say first item at our restaurant is pizza. So this is my first item. We will give it some margin left, or instead of margin left, what we can do is to bring it to the center, we can use gravity center, and a bit of margin top, that is let's say 20 sp. Okay, so this is my first item in my restaurant, that is pizza. You can increase the size of this text also if you do not want it so small. Now I want to add the second food item. Along with this, you have to give it ID, because in the runtime in the Java file we are going to check which checkboxes are selected. Pizza. You can simply copy them. Now they are showing error because ID is same and ID cannot be repeated. So let's say my second one is sandwich. So when I am saying sandwich, let's change its ID as well. The third item, let's say, will be coffee. Let's change its ID, coffee. Then next item will be tea. So for proper rendering, you will have to remove all the errors, and then your design will be displayed. Tea. Now all the errors are removed. Maybe there might be some rendering error, so you can just check it here. No, these are okay. Warnings. Okay. So in this case, what happened here is I made a large amount of change instantly. That is why, though my code is correct, you have to check here. It is not showing any errors, means what, the code is correct, but the design is not displayed here. You can run your app and check. If you are writing the code and the code is correct, but you are not getting the design in this preview section, it happens because of the rendering error. Okay. So see here, my controls are added, but here they are not displayed because of rendering error. Rendering error occurs because of some internal issues of the Android Studio. So, when you restart Android Studio again, it will be working properly. Okay, so you will be able to see the design, or what you can do is you can go to File. In the file we have options invalidate, caches or restart. Click on it and click on invalidate and restart. So, your Android Studio will be restarted, and after restarting you will be able to see the design. So, it will restart. Okay. So, see, now I have restarted my Android Studio and the elements are now displayed. As I have selected gravity center, they are not aligned in a line. Okay. So, instead of gravity center, you can keep their gravity as left. Okay. And you can give them some margin left. So, if you give same margin left 50 SP to all the components, they will be starting from the same position. So, everywhere for all the check boxes, instead of gravity, what I will do is I will add margin left. If you go to a certain code of a certain component, click here, the code will be highlighted. So, instead of gravity, I want margin left, T, instead of gravity, I want margin left, yes. So, now this is how my design is looking like. Okay. See, it is not changing because I guess my laptop is running out of RAM. Okay. So, it happens in that case. No need to worry, we had removed the margin gravity center and we have added margin left. So, it will display in the output. We have changed the ID of all these 4 components, and finally, I will add a button here. Okay. So, that button will say text generate bill. Yes, so, this is the text that I want to display on my button. After this, let us give an ID, bill, then we will have gravity, we can shift it to the center, will look fine. While designing, do not do simple rough designing, add some of the layouts and some of the margins and other things, so that your activity will look good. Margin top 30 SP. And after this, to display the bill that is generated, we will add a text view below. Okay. If we show it bill on a toast message, it vanishes after a while, like after a second or 2. It should be displayed permanently, and to display it permanently, instead of showing it on a toast message, what we will do is we will show it on a text view. So, here after this I will add a text view. Let us add some text property to it, bill goes here. So, here the bill of the user will be displayed. Let us style it a bit. Text color FF00FF. This is the color. So, it is purple color. It will be displayed, reflected in the design shortly. And we will have to give it ID, because now we are going to use this text view in runtime. When user will select the buttons, you will click on generate bill, the bill will be displayed here. So, let us say here I will give this ID as amount, and we will give it a bit margin top, so that it will look nice. If you want it at the center, you can move it towards the center also. Okay. And initially it should be blank. So, initially I will keep the text property of this text view blank. So, we have written bill goes here to check the design, and after that I have made it blank. So, when we will run our activity, this text view will not be displayed. It will be displayed only when user will select some options. Okay. Here you can write the price of these also items. So, apart from pizza, what is the price of pizza? Let us say 100 rupees, okay, like this. You can add it to the text view only. Sandwich 50 rupees. coffee 30 rupees and tea 10 rupees. Okay. So, these are the prices of these items. Now, we have completed the designing part and we will move to our coding part, that is main activity.java file. Here first of all we will have to create the objects of all the controls that we are using. So, on runtime I do not want to change this text view and this. I want to access these 4 checkboxes, 1 button and 1 text view. So, we will have to create this much objects, 4 checkboxes, 1 button, 1 text view, total 6 objects. Let us start with a text button. And so, button generate text view, let us say amount and checkboxes, checkbox, pizza, sandwich, coffee, tea. We can give them full names also. I have given them in short P, S, C and T. Now, next step is to initialize these objects. So, how to initialize them? Using find view by ID. Generate equals to find view by ID r.id.bill. Okay. So, the ID of my button is bill. Next is the text view, amount equals to find view by ID r.id.amount. Then the check boxes. So, P equals to find view by ID r.id. What is the ID of our first checkbox? This one. So, it is pizza. So, here I will write pizza. Similarly, I will initialize P, S, C and T. All the check boxes you will have to initialize pizza, this is sandwich, this is coffee and this is initialized with T. I have got now all the objects initialized. Now, we have to perform the action on the button click generate. So, we will have to write the click event of generate button. Okay, so, generate dot set on click listener new space capital O enter. Now, when user will click on the generate button, we have to check which of the above check boxes are ticked. So, I will create boolean variables, okay, or we will create 4 variables here. First one will be pizza, sandwich, coffee and tea. These are simple string variables. Now, what we will do is, if P dot is checked, means P checkbox is checked, it means what? Pizza is selected. So, we will say pizza equals to selected. Okay. Initially, all of them will be blank. You can write it like this. Sandwich blank and pizza blank. So, see what will happen? Initially, all the string 4 variables are blank. If P dot is checked, means if the checkbox for pizza is checked, what we will do? We will change this pizza string to selected. Similarly, if, okay, as we can, user can select multiple options, so we cannot use else if S dot is checked, means if the sandwich checkbox is checked, so sand variable will be selected. Okay. If C dot is checked, means the checkbox for coffee is selected, so coffee equals to selected, and one more if for T. So, if T dot is checked, T equals to selected. Now, we have to check which of the, and we have added this selected thing, plus we have to calculate the amount also. So, I will create a variable amount. So, we have created the click event of our button generate, means whenever user will click on generate button, we have to check which check boxes are checked, and we have to calculate the total of amount. So, first of all, how to check whether a given checkbox is checked or not. So, for that purpose we have a function is checked. Let us see how to use it. To store the amount, we will create a variable AMT. Initially the amount will be 0. Now, if P dot is checked, means what? Your P checkbox is already checked. So, if it is checked, what is the amount for pizza? 100. So, amount equals to amount plus 100. If it will be checked, 100 rupees will be added to the amount. Again, if sandwich is also checked, so in that case, what is the price of sandwich? 50. So, amount equals to amount plus 50. If coffee dot is checked, C dot is checked, means the checkbox for coffee is checked. So, in that case, what should be the amount added? 30. If T dot is checked, means the checkbox for T is also checked. So, amount equals to amount plus 10. After this, the amount will be stored in AMT variable. So, whichever the checkboxes are checked, their respective amounts are added, and finally we have to set this amount to our text view. So, our text view is, what is the name of our text view? Amount. We have initialized it. So, what I will do is finally amount dot set text. We have to set the text. Your bill is. What is the bill amount? AMT. And we have to concatenate these strings plus AMT. And after this, you can write here rupees. Let us execute and check the output. So, it is running. So, I have selected pizza and coffee. So, the bill should be 130 rupees. Your bill is 130 rupees. Again, I go for tea, 140 rupees. Sandwich, 140 plus 50, 190. And if you have not selected any of these, so your amount variable will be 0. Your bill is 0 rupees. So, it is in this way we have to handle the click event of checkboxes. We do not have to handle the click event. Checkboxes have a function is checked, which returns true if you have checked a checkbox, if you have clicked on a checkbox, and if it is not checked, it will return false. Okay. So, if is checked, add the amount, if not, do not add. Alright. So, this is it for this session, this video of checkboxes. I hope you have understood the concept of checkbox. See you again in the next video. Thank you.
For more videos, download our app from the Play Store.